Blackstone Audio presents Cats Can't Shoot, a Pru Marlowe pet noir by Clea Simon. This book is read by Tavia, Gilbert. For John. Chapter 1. When I first got the call about a cat shooting, I assumed the worst. People can be evil, and I've seen the damage they can do. But when I got to the house, I realized that no feline had been brutalized, at least not the way I had feared. The long-haired white cat I found cowering in a cupboard was apparently unharmed, aside from shock and some singeing where the powder had marked her silky white coat. It was the person who was dead. The house was anything but, buzzing like a beehive. I didn't know what the brouhaha was about at first, just that the call that summoned me had sounded serious. So for a change, I'd come. In general, I don't do summoning well. As independent as any lone female, I prefer to name my terms. The phrase cat shooting had caught me, however. When an animal is in danger, I'm willing to bend the rules. And while I wasn't given the details, as soon as I pulled into the long semicircular drive, it was clear something was up. With their coveralls and protective booties on, those technician types didn't fit with the detailed woodwork or the spacious porch that wrapped around two sides of the restored Queen Anne. Two of the techies, carrying in some kind of plastic case, left the carved door ajar, so I'd followed them in. So many people were filtering in and out by then, nobody seemed to care if I tramped in on a crime scene. In fact, despite the ominous words I'd heard on the phone, I wasn't entirely sure that I was in one, until I saw what was left of him. Downstairs office, probably the grand house's sitting room in a prior incarnation, with a view of a lawn that must have been stretched down to the river and a body that had been dead long enough to really look it. Donald Franklin, if the letterhead scattered across the desk was any indication. I certainly couldn't tell. I'd met Donald, Don he'd called himself, at a black-tie Valentine's Day dinner I'd been duped into attending. But the cold, still thing that lay in a pool of blood bore no resemblance to the dapper socialite I danced with not 6 weeks before. This thing was white, fake-looking against the darkening blood. Plastic, like another dead body I'd seen not that long ago. Pru Marlowe, over here. The sound of my name snapped me back to the present, and I managed to turn away from the mess that had been a man. You okay? The question came from Jim Crichton, Officer Jim Crichton. He wanted to know if I was going to be sick all over his evidence, not if the sight of a less-than-fresh corpse made me weepy. He's sentimental that way. Dandy, Jim.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?